Geneva Steel. You heard that name before? That steel manufacturer. I'm not sure. I don't even know the context of when this happened. Context, the time frame. I don't know. To me, it seems like it had to be in the 50s. I don't know, maybe the 40s. I don't know. I don't have a great sense of how. No, you know what? It had to be in the 20s. Let me explain what it is. This was on Today I Learned in Reddit, and Geneva Steel apparently started giving out bonuses to their employees in $2 bills. Don't know what the amount was, but this was definitely in a time when $2 bills were, I guess, just more common. You know, they were mass manufactured. Now you have to go to the bank if you want one. I don't know how many they make a year. Not enough to be in the general like, flows of in-use currency. You're going to see it often. You're certainly not going to make change for you and have a $2 bill. And the reason they did this, the reason they gave $2 bills to their employees as a bonus, well, you know what? Let me pause there. People started noticing $2 bills all over the place. And the reason Geneva Steel, and when I say all over the place, I mean like other businesses they were showing up at other businesses, and Geneva Steel did this to show how important they were to the economy. They're basically, they were handing out like a mark that you are with Geneva Steel, and those marks, those little tickets, were showing up in all kinds of places of business, showing that the people that worked at Geneva Steel were big supporters, big contributors to the economy, to the general functioning of commerce and whatever culture society this was. I don't know. It had to be like a decent sized. Again, I don't know the context of it. It's not the best explanation of that. I kind of wandered around that a little too long. I'm trying to get better at that. I thought that was cool. I thought that was really cool. Okay, let me jump into my to-do list here, kind of the things I've been working on today. With just leaving the caves now, I would have actually turned on the camera on my way out. I was thinking about doing that because I stopped at the lab on the way there. I wanted to turn the freeze dryer on and the pump on because I want to see, basically I've had it run for 3 hours now. I wanted to see what kind of vacuum I was going to pull after about 3 hours. So I'm headed back to the lab now and be really interested to see where we're at on our Militor. Guessing at this point we'd have to be in the single digits. If not, we got a problem. Yesterday we made it to 37 before we left. That was like an hour, so I feel pretty good about that. I left the cave because we were getting the frame. I got the millwright group that we have coming in. They came in, verified it after I took the frame off of the wiring, put those plugs in, shifted the frame around to make sure that the convey line is going to be in line with the all fill once the frame gets refabricated, pushed back. And actually, it's good news. I was kind of assuming 18 to 20 inches, and what we found is more like 23 inches of clearance will be added once the L braces get taken apart. Once the L braces will get taken apart, and then we're gonna have to move the platform that holds the airlock and the filter receiver. We'll move that platform just slightly in order to be able to fill product to I guess drop product in there. So that's good. I think maybe early next week we'll get that frame taken off and redone. I forgot my samples. I've got samples from another country of our product. I'm saying of product from another country, competitors, if you will. I mean, they're not competitors. They're competitors in the sense that our product is going to be competing against companies that are using that product, using product from another country, wheatgrass from another country, in their bags or tubs or whatever. So I'm going to show it off. I'm going to show what U.S. grown product looks like as opposed to not U.S. grown, which comes from a very concentrated source. Generally China. It's generally coming from China, maybe a little bit of India. We're gonna compare the quality there. I forgot my samples. They came in to the cave location last week, and I forgot to pick them up. I'm gonna be out there tomorrow, so I'll pick them up tomorrow. Get those going. Bring them, get them back to. I don't think I'm gonna get the whole boxes, but we'll get some samples made up of the boxes. Bring them to the lab, I guess. Get them set up there. And what else? What else? Quick patch has kind of gone dark on me again. Very sad to have to tell you that. Very sad. I'm gonna call them up at some point today, see what's going on. See if I can kind of get them moving again. I don't know why they've the line has fallen slack a little bit there. Just kind of disappointing. They're kind of disappointing me in that sense. You know, I really like their equipment. They've been great to deal with so far, but for some reason they're deciding to go a little quieter on me. Not be as responsive to my emails, but whatever. New product is still moving along really nice. I can't really share much with you on that, except that there is a new product in the works. I'm very excited about it. Very big things. Let's see what else. Anything else? Anything else I missed here? I've got a new fridge unit coming into the lab. This is 4th of July week. I don't know when this will be posted, but this is 4th of July week. Let me tell you this. When you're trying to get anything shipped 4th of July week, I'm not talking about consumer stuff. I mean, but that's still hard too. But anything, you're going to get price gouged this week. You're not going to get it there on time. It's just a bad week. Isn't it funny though too how like 4th of July always is kind of on a weekend? Because if it's like Tuesday is probably the worst day for the 4th. That's probably the worst day, or Wednesday, Tuesday and Wednesday. So I feel like if Thursday happens, you kind of like just go into the weekends. Monday, it's like 4th of July weekend. Today it's on a Friday, so it's the perfect day for the 4th. Anyway, though, very difficult to coordinate and get things done the week of the 4th. If you can, good on you, because you're moving in the right direction. Gonna get some samples sent off today for the new product. Oh, the freezer fridge. I'm trying to get that in. Don't think I'm gonna get that picked up until next week. It's one of those guys. That's why one of the reasons I want to buy their units, because I don't think they sell a lot of stuff on eBay. It's just like they've got a really good unit and they want to get rid of it. They don't do it very often, so they're not super responsive. The guy selling it has like 9 reviews. 9 probably sold. One of those, not a lot. Anyway, I think I'll get that picked up next week, which will be good. That will help kind of expedite things in the lab. I'll have places to put my samples and all those things. All that. Do I say things too much? Feels like maybe I say things too much. It's a lazy way of not knowing how to describe something. What else? Did I cover everything? Frame. Oh, I noticed something when I was in the pack room today. I had to go into the freezer to get some inventory, and I noticed that my flashlight wasn't there in the pack room. I couldn't find it anywhere. Didn't know why. So it's in there. I didn't think anyone had moved it. I'll show you this picture. I look up and it's up in the ceiling where I had the snorkel, where I had the scissor lift. It's up there sitting on that box where I was shining onto the plugs. I left it up there. I got the snorkel out, came over and got it. Thought that was kind of funny. About leaving stuff in the wrong spot. You kind of wonder, like, people that worked on the Empire State Building, or just, it doesn't care if the Empire State Building, it doesn't matter. Any large, it's not the only large building in New York City or the world for that matter, but any large building, you kind of wonder, what got left up there? What got left in places, you know, like someone's way up high, like, oh my gosh, I left my screwdriver like 40 feet in the air, 40 stories in the air. I read this short story, and I forget the name of it, man. You gotta merge, buddy. You gotta move faster than you're moving now. You're gonna get all of us in a wreck. Here, all right, here's just a quick sidebar pet peeve. Here's a lesson. When you are merging, when you are getting onto a highway and you have got 50 yards of runway to get on there, gun it. Just get in there. You're gonna make it in there. But when you're just like slow playing, like, oh, someone just let me in. I need to get in there so I can drive home. Just no, stop, man. Just you're gonna get us all in a wreck. Okay, because we all have to slow down. Do you know what the biggest indicator of a wreck occurring is on the highway? It's the biggest, but it is one that whoever studies this sort of thing has found to be an indicator, and that's disparity in the flow of traffic. You have one lane going fast and one lane going slow. Your likelihood of a wreck is going to occur because some guy is going to be like, I just, I think I'm gonna dip my foot in the old fast lane there, Bill. What does he do? Kind of creeps over, trying to like show myself creeping over. You can't see that. Creeps over and boom, he gets smacked. Someone's going too fast. Well, it's the same way with merging. Like, you're just trying to get on the highway to be careful because you think like if you jump on too fast, it's somehow worse. I don't know. If you think that's going to happen, at any rate, when you do that, when you get onto the highway too slow, you're creating a massive disparity in the flow of traffic. We're all going fast and you're going slow. You're going too slow and wrecks happen, dude. Just merge. Okay, there's my how I really feel about it soapbox merging tirade for the day. Back to what I was saying. I read a short story, and the short story was basically this tale about what it would have been like if the Tower of Babel was actually finished. It was really cool. I won't tell you the ending because I'm telling you about some short stories I read the other day, and I kind of was spoiling it. And I'm sorry for that. Maybe that's, I don't know. Like, maybe you'll never read it, but I don't know. Maybe it doesn't matter. But just in case, might as well not spoil the ending. But there was the story. I forget the name of the author about. He's writing about the Tower of Babel, people actually finishing it, and how it would go on for miles into the sky, and that the people up there, they had like a rock hammer to continue, or it's some kind of like lathe to lay their bricks, to smooth bricks out so they could lay another one on there because the bricks got transported. So it was some kind of like a actually I think it's on the tip of my tongue. It's not a lathe, but it's a tool. It's one of those tools used to smooth out concrete. The name escapes me right now. It's right there. It's so close. The expression on my face is the expression of someone who is searching for it. I want to say like a jar, not a jar. That's ridiculous. It's not a jar. I know some of you know what it is, and you're like, dude, you're close. You're saying it. It's one of those times when I'm so close, I don't want to give up on it. What is it? Whatever. I'm gonna give up on it. It's this little square thing with a handle on it. And in the story about the Tower of Babel, it was the tool. It was like the most important tool that they would use to have to, set bricks. And in the story, because the perspective is from like, it's not really from an individual perspective. It kind of is. Well, it is. It is. But as these individuals are going up there to get to the very top, they're kind of talking about people who have gone before them, and there's this sort of legend, myth that if it's a trowel, that's what it is, a trowel. If people drop their trowel, it would take months for them to get a new one, and they wouldn't be able to feed their family, or they wouldn't be able to lay bricks, and so they wouldn't be able to make any money up there, and they would starve, or they would have to borrow and go into debt in order to, like, they would just be not working for months at a time while they're waiting for a new trowel. And I think they come to find out that's not true. There's like mini trowels up there. One drops, they're like, okay, here's another one. They like explain the myth and the legend in the story, then I think reveal that it's not. I think that's how it goes. It's been like 6 months since I read that story. It's a good story. that's all tying back to people leaving items 40 stories in the air when they're building Sears Tower or the Empire State Building. Okay, does that cover everything? Does that cover all my list? Oh, I do have this one other thing. You remember yesterday when I was trying to get the pieces of the spray dryer together? You remember that? What I did is, I don't have the right pieces, clearly. I'm not going to be able to assemble a little clamp that can go around the fitting that is between the dust collector or the particle collector and the drying chamber. I don't have a clamp big enough. So I'm going to get new threaded rods, some hex bolts to connect things. I think it should be okay. I think I know exactly what I need. I have my caliper though to measure precisely. I want to do that. Go to the lab and do that. Maybe I will put that on kind of POV so you can see that. That's it. I have a call. I've got a call at 3 o'clock. Amazon meeting with our group that's helping us market on Amazon. Dude, we got our first like negative review. And I feel like I want to make a video about this, maybe a little bit more like thought out, you know, like I guess maybe it's scripted, you know. I'm just kind of gathering my thoughts on it a little bit more, but essentially we got a review through the Vine program. It was okay, I'll tell you this. The actual feedback, the actual written review was good feedback. I didn't mind anything in the written review. They essentially said, look, you're not listed with the USDA in terms of your certifications, like what you're showing me on the bag in terms of organic, like how can you prove that to me anywhere? All of this stuff, you don't have a website, or we don't have a website, and that's true. I guess the idea was to be, you know, just Amazon first, and we're trying to drive traffic to the Amazon listing, so the website's just it's just diluting the focus. So maybe it wasn't the website. I think it was more of you don't have socials. You don't have socials. We do have socials though. We got an Instagram page. So what the heck, you know, like that. Maybe do your research there. Basically, the review was kind of blasting those things. Which, okay, fine. I do not mind the feedback because it gave good feedback on the product. It was really more talking about like just some of the, I guess you call them nitpicky things for a company first starting out. But what pissed me off is they gave us a 3-star review. Like they liked the product. They thought it was a good looking product. They thought it tasted good, I think. But they docked us 2 stars for not being able to prove that we're certified organic. How about this, buddy? Like, or girl, or whoever you are. How about go find me a wheatgrass powder. Find me one that is produced that is not certified organic. You can't. There's no such thing as conventionally produced wheatgrass. It's not a thing. No one is spraying pesticides. No one who is harvesting wheatgrass is spraying pesticides or herbicides. That is not a thing. I know that. So you're doing your research to try and, I don't know, like, kind of, I guess you're trying to criticize us. You're trying to find issue, lambast us or whatever. And you don't even, like, maybe take the time to ask the question, well, I'm upset that there's no legitimacy, like, verified legitimacy with the certified organic, but am I even going to check to see if that's actually an issue? I get if you're trying to look up if the rice is certified organic, if cornflakes are certified organic. Like there's all kinds of cornflakes out there that the grain in question was sprayed with pesticides and herbicides. Like I know that. But dude, this, okay, are you going to get over, what are you doing? Another merge issue occurring. But this, like, again, find me some wheatgrass. Find it for me that is not organically grown. It doesn't exist. So if you want to give me 4 stars, okay, that's fine. That's basically like, hey, this is a good product, but there's some correction to be made. But 3 stars, dude, you're making it look like we have a subpar product here. Like if you didn't trust the product, dude, why would you put it in your mouth? And I know maybe I'm saying a nitpicky, but man, these reviews matter. Like, do you buy products that have a 3-star review? Heck, no, you don't. You don't do that. like, you want 4 and above. There's a filter on Amazon for that. You want 4 and above. So it matters. And like, people that are going to just throw that out there to someone that has put a tremendous amount of effort into getting a product out there. If you want to give us critical feedback and a 4-star review, I don't have any problem with that. But to just say like our product is subpar because there's a few little boxes that you don't feel like were adequately checked, man, that's super messed up, in my opinion. Okay, some people are going to say, oh, he's entitled to the review, but you know, it's through the Vine program. They got it for free. So, I mean, at least, like, I don't know, at least keep that in mind. It was free. The Vine program, by the way, it's to help you get reviews early on. You submit product to it. You get feedback and reviews, and you can kind of build a base up. By the way, someone around here, like, I don't know if they're drag racing, but I can smell burnt rubber, and that is not a good smell at all. It's a terrible smell. True. Ah, damn it. Just realized I had some. Just bringing back some store product in the freezer up there. It's bringing back some samples, and I totally forgot it. Wow. I'll get it tomorrow. I gotta go out there tomorrow. Anyway, the review, like, I say it's infuriating, but it's extremely annoying. Well, anyway, kind of see what happens with that review. I'm kind of thinking about leaving a little harsher feedback on the review. Not mean or anything, but almost like a tweet version of what I just said. You know, I see so many people on Amazon, and people leave these mean reviews, and the companies are like, oh, thank you so much for your feedback. We are going to take this into consideration immediately. And we are going to put it we're going to send it 3 chains up, 3 legs up the chain of command, and we're going to make sure our VP of customer care and happiness reaches out to you with a gift card to our Jelly of the Month Club. Because this is unacceptable. It's so, like, just ass-kissing. Excuse me. You know, like, you think you do that? You think you just bend over? And look, dude, the customer's always right. I believe that, okay? But the customer can't always be rude, you know? I know some people are watching it. Well, hey, they're entitled to their review. I know. They are. You're right. So maybe I need to say this a little differently. So really what I'm talking about right now is people, like, leaving, I don't know, kind of just mean reviews, and then the company just sort of really kind of being too, like, they're placating too much, you know? Like, they're getting walked all over. Like, you don't want to do that. Like, let me tell you something. You start letting someone walk all over you, they're just gonna keep walking. They're not gonna turn around and say, oh, I shouldn't do this. They're gonna be like, oh, you're saying the people's elbow is it's been ordered up. I'd like to do a few more of those, please. Maybe some power bombs while we're at it. I don't know. I don't know. Like, as far as the review goes, like, I'm not, like I said, I don't want to say anything mean, but it's something a little bit more stern than your typical. I'm so sorry you had to deal with this. We're gonna pay for your next therapy session. By the way, if the quality seems a little less today, I just put it on 1080p. I feel like 1080p is fine. I feel like people were selling that a few years ago, like Dolby surround sound 1080p. I'm tired of this thing overheating, you know? I want to just continuously film until the battery runs. I don't want to keep turning it back on. I was thinking about that last night. Like, a good idea to me would be a case that is, it's like a liquid, because these things are waterproof, so if you could submerge your GoPro in some kind of liquid base, like, I feel like that would work really well. Maybe that sounds really stupid, but obviously the liquid is going to need to be recirculated because it's going to warm up. So you're like building a little recirculating chiller for your GoPro, and maybe it's like, dude, it's like 10 minutes and then your battery's gonna die anyway, so it wasn't that big of a deal. Maybe that's true. Okay, right here on the sign, it's white. Like, it's the sign that tells you where to go, but it's like completely blanked out, so you don't know where to go. it's kind of trippy. Like it's like dystopian. Like if remember I Am Legend, where actually I don't know if in I Am Legend it had that, but what I'm talking about is just the little traffic signs on the interstate that tell you like, you're going this way to Detroit or this way for Memphis, exit up here. Like I just went by one and it's completely, like it's all green, like there's still marks, like they're gonna tell you where to go, but where those marks are just little square rectangles. It's like I said, like something you would see if you were in like an apocalypse movie or scenario. It's something that people worry about now, like that clock that says, it's like the doomsday clock. It says like right now we're 1 minute to midnight. Because tension is so high in the world that like which to me is such a dumb thing. Like it's just these people going, oh, it's so tense in the world right now that we're this close to nuclear winter. If we're really as close as you say, then over the last 60 years something should have happened. Nuclear winter or apocalyptic conditions should have occurred, but they didn't. It didn't occur. So maybe you need to readjust your doomsday clock a little bit. And I'm being a jerk right now. This lane is closing up. I didn't realize it until just now. And now I'm the guy that has to get back over because I'm realizing it's closing off. I'm really sorry. Just don't, I don't know what to tell you. I didn't know. I had no idea. Now this guy to my right's like, no, I'm not letting you in. You should have known better. You should have known that there was traffic, that there was road construction on this highway that you never drive on. Because the fact that you didn't know that means you're a jerk and I'm going to flip you off. Now watch me not let the next guy in. I'll let you in, buddy. Come on. I just did the same thing you did. Go on in. You can go in. Come on. Get in there. Dude, are you really going to keep going? Alright, whatever. No more commentary on stupid traffic flow that no one cares about. Anyway, the doomsday clock. I remember, okay, so I used to be not afraid of this, but like I thought about it. Kind of like the joke is like how men always are thinking about the Roman Empire. I used to think about nuclear winter on a not infrequent basis. Like, I don't know, once a month, every couple months. Because the idea of it was so scary to me. You guys ever seen The Road? I mean, like, I don't know what happened in that movie, like what the apocalypse was. Nuclear winter definitely happens. Like, it's gray all the time. Man, I love that movie. I love that movie. I actually, what's his name? Cormac McCarthy? Is that the author? I started reading that book, and I don't know why I stopped. I need to finish it. I need to pick it back up. I love that movie. I can tell I'm going to like the book. There's just so many things in that movie that, like, they just hit me really hard. It's just it's an intense movie. The movie is about, what's his name? Viggo Mortensen. I don't know the son's name. I think the son was also the main actor in maybe Let Me In, the vampire movie. I'm not sure. I watch way less movies than I used to, so any of my references might be like kind of out of spec, I guess. I'm going to use a nutraceutical term, food term. The book, movie, I assume the book reflects the movie pretty closely. It's just a son and a dad. I don't even think you know their names. It's about their travels through a world that is ended in the sense that there is very few humans left. And those that are left are dangerous, extremely dangerous, demonic even in the way they there's a part in the movie where, I don't think I'm spoiling much, where they come upon like a cannibal compound. Sick stuff, really sick stuff. The dynamic is all about, I guess the book, the movie, it showcases the dynamic of what this would be like for a child and how a father is doing his best to shield him, protect him, but also bring him through this world. Because I think the father knows that he's not going to be there forever, and his son's got to be ready for it. I don't know. I thought it was an I don't think the movie got a ton of acclaim. I don't think it was well. I mean, I think it had very good reviews, but like it didn't. It's not like it was a box office smash. But man, I love that movie. Man, not in the way, and I say that too. Like, I love the movie, but it's not like a movie. I've only seen it 1 or 2 times because it's super dark. You don't want to go back and watch that movie again necessarily because it's extremely depressing. So I guess like I when I say I love the movie, it's not like I'm like, oh my gosh, I just can't wait to watch it again. It's more of like I just felt like it told a story. It's been told many times, an apocalyptic story. It told it very, very well from a perspective that I'd never even thought of. It made me think. It stuck with me for a number of days after I watched it. I still think about it from time to time. And it's still, as dark as it was, it still like inspired hope and humanity for me. I don't know. So I like if anyone sort of who's seen it is taking it the wrong way that I like the movie, I don't mean it in like a way that I thought it was so cool. You know, like, oh my gosh, this is great. Like, can't wait to watch this again. It's not like that. That's not what I mean. I appreciate the story and the perspective and some of the I guess larger messages. Read the book soon. I've not read. I've read and watched No Country for Old Men. I've not read the book No Country for Old Men. That's on my list, as well as Blood Meridian. All the Cormac McCarthy books, obviously. But he's, I don't know. He'll be looked at as probably like a William Faulkner type for our generation as time passes on. I think, you know, a lot of feels like a lot of the major artists, whether they're writers, painters, sculptors, playwrights, whatever, like they don't get the acclaim they deserve until they're dead. You know, unfortunately, I don't know why that is. It's like the kind of old revisionist history thing, or like the nostalgia. It's a nostalgic thing, I guess. You know, I didn't just have deja vu, but I'm making the same. I made the same drive earlier to my lab, and like I said, it wasn't deja vu, but I had some pretty intense deja vu. I wouldn't say pretty intense, but I was at a wedding a while back, a couple months ago. I was there with a buddy, we were talking, and I just like it hit me. I had some deja vu. I was like, oh man, I'm getting some deja vu. That was like the first time in years that I've ever had some. And I remember hearing like this interesting theory about deja vu. I don't know what I think. Like I don't know. I don't have an opinion on it. But this specific theory was saying that deja vu it's like a fast tracking of the mind creating a memory. So like the process that your mind goes through to create a memory is, I think, somewhat linear. It takes time. It goes through some steps. I think dreaming, or not dreaming, but sleep helps cement some of these things. And every once in a while, a memory, an encounter slips past all of those processes and goes straight to long term. And because of that, it can be jarring. And so a memory that an experience that you're having immediately is becoming a memory instantaneously. And because of that, it's jarring. It happens all at once, and that's where this idea, the experience of deja vu happens. That's a theory. Who knows if that's true or not. I thought that was interesting, though. That's like it makes sense that might be the case. Okay, well, I just got to my lab. I'm gonna run in. We'll check the vacuum, and I'm gonna order some parts from McMaster Car for this clamp, and I don't know. See what else. Maybe make some calls, whatever else. Okay, see you inside. All right, moment of truth. See how our vacuum is. Got a meeting in like 15 minutes, so this might be kind of short. 21 millitor? Really? I don't love that. I definitely don't love that. Okay, so are we just stuck there? I definitely thought it'd be more than that at this point. Could be the vacuum for sure. Definitely could be the vacuum. Man, that's a bummer. It's a huge bummer. Look, 21 millitor is not bad at all. But I would like it to, I mean, man, it's been down at 1 before. Are we gonna get to 20? Are we gonna get to 20? Well, maybe not. I might just have to reach out to New Life, see what's going on. I think I would have felt a lot better if it was at least 14. Well, I'm gonna let this run for a little while longer. I mean, no reason to stop it. It's taken a long time to get into 21. I mean, look, it's 2:30. I started this thing at 10:15. It's had 5 hours to get where it's at. I'm curious though if my Edwards pump would do any better than this one. It might. It definitely might. My Edwards is brand new as well. It's always a bummer when you run an equipment and it's not performing to expectations, especially this. Like, this is such a, I mean, look, 21 millitor is nothing to feel bad about, but when you're hitting 1 millitor, I mean, even 5 or 7, like, you're kind of like, why, what's the difference here? And I don't know why it's doing this. I'm gonna probably reach out to him and see. Well, might send off an email real quick, and I'll see if I can get the caliper set up so you can see that, how I measure these little threaded rods so I can get a new clamp. Okay, I'm gonna try something a little different here. You've seen that little C-stand in my lab. Well, I'm using that now instead of the POV mount. I don't know why, I just thought maybe this would be a little bit more interesting this way. Maybe not. Maybe this is the first and last time. This is the caliper. This is the caliper. I'm trying to keep it here so you can see it, but I'm also trying to use it too. So I'm pretty sure my fittings here are all metric, I think. When I ordered this the last time from McMaster-Carr, this side 6:30 seconds, this side 10:30 seconds, I think is what I did, maybe. I don't know. I'm gonna measure it now though. I've got 2 ways to measure it. And this little knurled thumb screw. Okay, so we are in inches right now. I could change it quickly, but I'm trying to do it while looking at an awkward angle. Inches, millimeters, okay. So let's take a millimeter measurement on the larger end. Okay, and that's 4.81. Okay, 4.81 OD. I'm going to record that really quick. 4.81 mm, and I know we can convert that to inches easy, but it's just, we're right here, let's just do it right here. Okay, 4.81, and then, come on, where are you? 0.91, 3/16. It's gonna tell us it's 3/16. Okay, is it really though? Okay, now let's look at the OD of the, the smaller end. By the way, this caliper, pretty sweet caliper. My dad got this for me. I love this caliper. I hope to give it to one of my kids someday. 5:30 seconds. What did I say? 6:30 seconds. So not too far off. I'm pretty sure I measured this at one point. But the fact it was 5:30 seconds and not, well, 9/64. Okay, 9/64. And then 3.71 mm. Okay. 3.71 millimeter. And then let's, hold on. Let's do that one more time because I want to know. What I want to know is, well, I want to know the inches. Sorry, I'm laughing here. 9/64. Okay, 9/64 inches. All right, 9/64. Now, we did the outer diameter, okay? We're gonna do a couple more things though. I wanna do the ID of this guy. If we narrow in the inner diameter of this guy, we've got the OD of this little guy, then we should be able to, not triangulate, but like have a very good indication of what size rod we need, okay? So what I'm trying to do here, I'm sounding so much like my dad here. You know what? Try to, we'll start in on a process. But let me show you what I'm trying to do here. Let me just show you. Okay, this is it. All right, so you've seen this guy goes into the clamp. You've seen, get out of there. You've seen this guy. It threads through the clamp, all right? The clamp shuts around here. Okay, this guy, once you get it tight enough, the clamp tight enough, then it has to break through on the other side. Like it can't, you have to get it on there. It's got to fit snug. If it doesn't fit snug, then you can't tighten it and you don't have a clamp. But the problem is, I'm not even close to being able to clamp it all the way. Not even close. Like I've got like that much space in there on a good day. And somehow I've gotten this thing before, which makes me think maybe that other one was the right fitting, but whatever. Okay, let's see here. So you see what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to basically make a longer rod. It would be fine. This would be no issue at all. If this guy, if this was the same size as this, I don't know why they did it this way. I have no clue. But if this was just the same size as this I wouldn't, there would be no problem here. Everything stems and is born, this problem is born of these odd size threads. You got, 10, 30 seconds here, 5, 30 seconds here. I don't know why, but we're gonna make with the best of what we got. So if I can essentially, I'm gonna buy a small rod that's this size, put it into here, buy a hex adapter that is, let's see here, we'll go on this side. The other side will go onto here, the other end of that, and then the other end will fit this size. And so I'm gonna buy another rod that's a little longer to make the whole thing work. Right, does that make sense? Maybe a little bit? Okay, and it doesn't matter. You're seeing it happen. Next thing, we've got to get the inner diameter, and so that's what I'm gonna do now. First, this guy. If I can get it in there, it's gonna be tight. Hold on, I'm gonna go off camera just a second. See that? That's what I did there to get the, oh, come on, I had a measurement too. I mean, I should be yeah, look at that, 9/64. That's right. Or 3.57 millimeter. I want to do it again just to be sure. So just excuse me while I spend the next 20 minutes trying to find this thing. Oh, there it is. Let's do that again. You saw what I did. See that? 3.39 mm. That is essentially, well, we're up to 3.44. Okay, 3.43. I feel good about that. We'll call it 3.4. 3.42. That's what we're gonna call it. 3.42. Okay, so rod through clamp. We'll call that 3.42. Actually, 3.38 mm to 3.42 mm. Okay, now this knurled nut should be a little easier, I think. Because this side right here is not threaded, but this side is. So let's get that. Okay, 4 point, hold on. All right, you see that? We're about 4.25. Call it 4.25 mm. Okay, knurled nut, 4.25 mm. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm not even kidding about this. I mean, it's not like it's that crazy of a statement I'm making here, but I'm going to buy both English and metric on this. That way, there is no chance of failure here. I don't know why I didn't think about that in the first place. So I'm gonna be extra careful. What's that? That kind of scares me a little bit. See that negative amount? I think maybe I didn't zero that out right enough. Jeez. Should I measure that again, just to be safe? Hold on. Let's just make sure. Double check. Measured once, cut twice. You know how it goes. Just kidding, it's not exact. It's measure twice, cut once. I mean, yeah, there you go. Get on there. Okay, where are we at? Okay, that needs to be zeroed. Okay. Sorry, can't see it. Okay, that's in inches, so remember that. .26, and I had it written down as 4.25. That's fine. All right, we're good. All good. Off. Got what we need. At least we have gotten these done, and I can get a piece to fix the clamp on the spray dryer, and yeah, another thing fixed. So, all right, well, if I don't check in, I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.